My name is Vince, and this is Listings to Leads, and it's Monday, and it's time to talk about the multiple ways of capturing listings with our platform. Okay, so before I kind of dive into that part, I do want to tell you a little bit of a high-level story of Listings to Leads. One, we've been here for about 12 years. Two, we have a number of ways to help you capture buyers or sellers, whether you have listings or whether you don't have listings, right? So if you've got listings, yeah, we got a bunch of great tools. If you don't have listings, guess what? We have a bunch of great tools. And you can use them, and then it's your decision. Do you want to talk to buyers or do you want to talk to sellers? This call is about how to capture more contact information on sellers, homeowners. So we'll kind of get into that. Let me log into my account and let me say this. This is kind of true for our whole platform, but there's a few areas that I want to concentrate on to solve, this riddle. One is, and this is kind of surprising. I don't know, how long you've all been clients, but sometimes it's a bit of a mystery for our clients to understand that if they market their listings with our system, they're going to get more listings. Okay, so I'm going to be walking you through some of the tools here to use and point out the ones that get more listings. Okay, there's also landing pages, and one of the obvious landing pages is what is your home worth, but there's actually more tools aside from just running an ad on that. And then there are ads. Okay, so these are the three areas and on listings to leads that you're going to want to focus on. Now, some of these tools actually have to do with your CRM. Some of them are in print and some of them are in social media. So there's a lot of different ways, and you kind of want to think of it that way, that you've got a multiple, platform kind of approach. It's not just one thing. I mean, we're on the ads page, so let me show you just right off the bat. The number one way, and I don't know if clients are still doing this, or clients, but I mean realtors, the number one way of capturing listing leads for years was running a home value ad like this. What is your home worth on Facebook? A lot of agents have been doing that. I don't know if you're aware of that, but let me tell you, it is played out and not that effective. I'm going to show you the most effective ways, and this is actually on my list. This is a way of capturing listing leads, just not the highest quality leads, okay? So to talk about the highest quality leads, let's go into listings. So when we want high quality listing leads, we can market a home that's for sale. I've actually got an open house here, so I'm going to go down that path. That's an open house. I'm going to click on market listing, and just as a reminder, all these tools are generated automatically, and probably half of them are emailed to you, so you can kind of work on this from outside. Now, whenever you come on market listing, we drop you in kind of order of value to you. The most important things that you should do are on the top of this list. And you should not stop until you get to eFlyer from your database. Now, if you want to use a single property website and virtual tour and open house sign-in form and all these other great things, please do, because it's kind of like fishing with multiple fishing poles, right? You got more out there, you're going to catch more fish. But these top things are the things that I want to focus on. But I'm going to kind of walk you through it real quickly because we are talking about getting listings. And the first thing we drop you on is creating an ad. But this is an open house, so this ad is really designed to get buyers. So I don't definitely want to focus on that right now. I'm going to jump right to the number one tool to get more listings, the number one tool that gets listing leads that turn into contracts, and that's number 5 down here, the nearby homeowner letter. And I'm going to kind of go in a little bit deep here. There are 3 different versions. You can download any one of them, and I'm going to kind of give you definitely some details here. One is, this letter is a very simple letter. It's not super sexy. There's no artificial intelligence. It's not even cloud computing or whatever. It is a one-page document that you download and you get into your neighborhoods if you want more listings. And this particular letter is talking about an open house. You may not know this, but you can actually borrow listings and pull them in your account and get this exact same letter. You might want to be one of those agents that's sitting on an open house for somebody else, and you can pull that listing in and you can download this letter. Or you might be just a listing agent and you've got a listing in a neighborhood where you want more listings. Get this letter and get it in the market. Okay, now I don't know if you can see it, but it basically says, hey, we got an open house from 1 to 4 this weekend. And down below it says that's going to affect your home value. So this, remember, you're downloading and it's a print piece of paper. You could door knock it, you could mail it, you could bulk mail it, you can mail it first class. There's all kinds of ways of mailing it. I am going to dive into that. This is our mastermind group. If you're a client, you should be in this group. If you're a client and you're not in this group, you should go to the support page down here on the bottom left and say, hey, please add me to the mastermind group. They will do that for you. Once you get in there, again, if you want to get more listings, I want to give you 3 names that you want to research. Chris Winstead. I'll give you the other 2 in a minute. Chris here, this story, this guy, he came in the mastermind group a couple summers ago and said, and by the way, while this is a couple summers old, this guy went from an agent moving to San Antonio. So when he posted this, he had moved his wife and kids to the town where his wife's family is, right? And he had no name recognition, no brand in San Antonio. He just had a realtor's license. And he went into this shop and said, can I borrow the listings from the other agents? And he starts marketing out that letter, this letter, and you can see it right here, to homeowners that own their homes for more than 5 years. Okay. So that very simple letter on various listings, every 2 weeks, he mails it out to people who own their homes for 5 years or more. And when they opted in on the home value piece, once they opt in on the neighborhood specific landing page, once they opt in on this link down here, once they take that piece of paper in their house, go to their own computer, type in that address and put in their address and give him his contact info, well, then he hits them up every week with phone calls, bomb, letters via mail, and letters left at the door. This, simply put, is a very simple recipe of how to use that and how to convert that into business. This guy, I'm actually about to set up a new office account for him. You may not know this, I do like the national brand, partnerships for the company. I also set up all the offices. So I'm talking to Chris right now. He went from moving to San Antonio with no name to now setting up his own office. And I guarantee he's leaning heavily on that letter. There's also another person I want to talk about here, and that is Alicia Pless. And Alicia, if you look at her name, you should actually look at what she says, because she came in here a lot. But the thing I want to point out is she is saying, use custom looking envelopes. And she learned that from me on a call just like this, because when I talk about this letter, you're all professionals, right? And you're all busy. So you don't have a whole lot of time to be stuffing envelopes and this and that. And I can appreciate that. But if you mail this, if you download it, you mail it to a bulk mailer and it looks like, junk mail, it's not going to get opened. And the value of that letter doesn't really appear until somebody opens the letter. And that's why people like Alicia and many other agents, if you're in the mastermind group, you'll see them using really custom looks, even handwritten envelopes, because they want that letter to be open. So again, I want to remind you, a great way of unlocking value of that letter is to mail it with people with equity. Now, I know there are companies like Remine that'll give you a score, like they're likely or medium likely, and I know a lot of our clients use that as well. But you're looking at people that might be potentially wanting to sell, and you're mailing that letter as frequently as you can, right? And then the last guy I'm going to talk about here in this story is Dustin Fox. And Dustin is over in just south of Washington, D.C. in Maryland, mails that same letter to 250 homes first class and pulls 10 listings. It did cost him $625, but he was like, hey, that's the highest ROI in our business, right? And that makes sense. That's a big, lot of listings. And we have that story happening a lot. A lot of our clients are using that letter. They're mailing it. Frequently. Some of our clients just, what they do is they use that letter when a home is just listed, or maybe they use it when it's an open house, but then they use it again when the home is sold, right? Because the letter works, and not everybody opens, every piece of mail for people that they don't know. So it's just kind of worth it to use that letter. So that's under the market listings. It's the fifth item there, the nearby homeowner letter. I definitely recommend, and I can even tell you, let me just go over here. Let's see if this is in here. It's been a while. And I know it's, we're in a COVID world, but this is a couple years back where this lady just walks and door knocks for 7 hours and gets 4 listings. Same letter, right? She had a listing in a neighborhood and she wanted more listings, so she door knocked that thing for 7 hours and pulls 4 listings. That's a lot of walking, And I showed you the thing from Chris Winstead. There's a lot of work. There's follow-up. I would love to say, hey, you know what? I got a lead here and you can give us 40% of that commission and you don't have to do a thing, right? That would be a great business. In our world, you actually got to do a little bit of work, but it's a really low cost and you keep the rest of the commission for yourself, right? So that's number one. That's number one, too. Number two is actually the seller's social media post. Now, this thing here is an open house. So this is really designed to get more buyers, but it's designed for the seller, the homeowner's social media page, not yours and not your office's. Because what it's doing is it's saying you are their realtor and you are that's basically it, right? And so when they put it on their wall, all their friends and family and colleagues see that. Now, I mentioned that we have been doing this for 12 years and our clients love us because we can get them a lot of leads. But I can tell you, even with that, our clients love referrals more than they like converting online leads, right? So it would make sense that if you market your home after it's sold, to also use the seller social media tool. So let me show you. It says, our home is sold and we want to recommend you for doing an excellent job. Here is your phone number and email automatically on this post from your profile. And we send this tool to you automatically. What you should do is open the email and read the instructions. And what it's going to tell you is forward this email to your client and call them for 5 seconds and say, hey, could you copy that and put that on your wall? Because it's basically a pre-written testimony, right? On Facebook. It's not a Facebook ad. It doesn't disappear. And because the home is sold, when their friend or family and colleague logs in, they might click on it. People who are thinking of selling a home definitely going to click on it, right? And because this home is later stage, the call to action is offering a free home value. So I've shown you that you can run a home value ad, right? And you can get that you can get leads from Facebook, but that's kind of akin to a random internet lead. Whereas this lead is coming from your client's sphere of influence, right? From their relatives and from their colleagues and things like that. So it does not create a lot of leads. It only creates a few, but they're pretty high quality. These get into conversation pretty quickly because you can see where they're coming from, right? You go, oh, you must be a friend of so-and-so, right? How can I help you? There's an e-flyer that does the same thing. You can use it. I think the social media one is a lot better because it stays there and it lives on social media and people come in later. So on the listing side, number one is the nearby homeowner letter. Number two is seller social media. And the third one is the e-flyer for your database, for your CRM, okay? Let me cough here a second, sorry. So in this case, it says, we just sold the home. You might be interested, check it out. Now, if it's sold, we're gonna be asking for home values there, right? But right beneath it, it says, when that home is sold, it's affected your home value. So they can click here and get their home value. So from one email, there's multiple connections of getting listing leads. Now I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna click on this open house. Remember, we were looking at the open house earlier. And so the e-flyer for your database, you want to sort of knock out. You can copy it here by copying the code. It's going to get the HTML code. But now it says, hey, there's an open house this weekend. click on this, check it out, become a buyer lead, but that's going to affect your home value when that thing sells. So again, one flyer to market a home that's for sale, that's also going to help you get more listings. Okay. We recommend that you're using this, you copy it, you go to your CRM, you blast it out like once a week or every other week, right? If you're somebody with a lot of leads, like more than 1,000, you might want to do that more often. You can obviously borrow listings, and these tools are going to be created for you in the same way. So when we're looking at this list here, you can see there are a lot more tools. And you should definitely be using those tools when you're marketing listings, but when we're talking about getting more listings, these are the tools to use. So now let's go over and, excuse me, look at ads. I told you that's another area where you definitely want to run ads to get more listings, okay? So let's go to the easy one. Create a PDF guide. If I click on that button, you're going to see that we have over 25 PDF reports for homeowners, giving them ideas of what they need to do. I see a question here, so feel free to put those in. Will this be sent to us after we watch? No, Susan, this will be on the mastermind group and you can rewatch it there. Okay, so just go in here. This should be here. Sue Ann is asking if we're doing this, if we're putting this in if we're going to email this recording to you. It is being recorded, and it's going to be in the mastermind group right here, right? So hope that helps you. So back to where we were, seller PDFs. You choose the one you want to run. I'm going to do this one on improving my outdoor living space. Click create ad, and all you do is type in a town, right? Type in any town wherever you are, and that's it. Click publish. Okay. And so you can see this thing here. This ad is over on the right, right? So if I click on this, let me just show you in case you're not aware. I do have a class on that is on Facebook advertising, but you see this news feed here right in the middle. Your ad shows up. Your ad, as it looks like right here, shows up right there, right? And where it shows up, there'll be a little button that says learn more. Wherever, if they click on this ad anywhere, it's going to have a pre-populated form, pre-populated by Facebook with their name and email and phone number as it appears in their profile. And if they want to download that report, they got to give that information to you. So it's a really easy kind of ad to say, yeah, you know, I'm going to run this ad and I'm going to get seller leads and we're going to give away a report that you are branded on every page of that report. Okay. So good for your branding, good for seller lead gen, and really easy to run. So that's one kind of ad. Now I showed you the other kind, and I said, here's the free home value ad. And I'm just going to repeat myself. It is played out, and Facebook's targeting has been reduced since this originally began, right? It's just become more difficult. So it is something I recommend every agent does once a month, strictly from a branding perspective, because the lead quality here is not high, okay? But when you run an ad for like 50 bucks, couple, 1,000-2,000 people will see this and they're gonna know that you can offer free home values. And that's good for your branding. So I still recommend it. It's just you're not gonna get the highest quality leads there. And the last on the ad section is to run ads on sold properties, okay? And I've got one that's sold here. So I'm just gonna click create an ad. And I wanna kind of give you a little bit of detail. To run a sold ad, all you have to do is click publish. And the form that pops up is going to have their name, email, and phone number. It's even going to ask them, when do you need to sell? I think the option is like 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and more than 6 months. So really easy to do this. Now, I will tell you, this is, as you can see the ad on the right, you can tell it's already pre-written. So you don't really have to worry about the text, right? But in some markets, and I think it's particularly heavily competitive markets, this is not good enough. This default text that you're seeing on the right there is not compelling enough to get people to click on it. So I want to kind of tell you some tips. If you click on advanced options and you scroll down to that text, sometimes there are things that you know that we don't know, right? Like it was in contract in 5 days. Now I'm just pulling things, right out the top of my head. Sold, 10K above asking, right? 8 offers, 7 buyers still living there. This kind of thing gets people to slow down and look at it. Because if you're able to say you can do it quickly and you can get good money, well, you definitely want to put that in your ad, right? And that's really all you got to do. And then just click publish. Those points right there, you might have something more compelling to say, but that gets people to sort of slow down, take a look and go, wow, okay, you're getting top dollar for homes. I definitely want to know, I want to find out what my home is worth. So that just sort of gets people to click on it. So on the ad section, PDF report guides for sellers, home value ads, and sold ads, okay? I will tell you this, if you write up an ad for a home that's pending or under contract, it's also designed to get listing leads. And so if you want to do that, you definitely need to take the time to click advanced options and say, we can take more offers, right? Because when people write ads for pending and under contract, a lot of consumers, people, your target, they're just like, oh, okay, interesting. There's nothing I can do. It does offer a free home value, but it doesn't work as well as the sold ad the way that I just showed you. So now we know we can use Facebook ads, we can use our listings, and then let's go over to landing pages. Now, landing pages, you actually get 3 landing pages as soon as you sign up. These top ones here: free home values, down payer assistance, and new construction. Now, if you click this green button up here that says create landing page, you can create your own home value landing page, and that's Property Valuation Plus, right? And you should if you really want listings, you should have one of those for every one of your towns that you build your business in, right? Here's one for Pleasant Hill, which is right around the corner from me. So, I definitely, it's a good market. So you want to create one for Pleasant Hill and then click edit. When you create it, it's really generic looking. It will not have a colorful picture like you're about to see here, right? This is the Pleasant Hill Crescent Plaza, right? It's new, good restaurants, casual theater. There's even a golf store there. So everybody in Pleasant Hill knows this place. And so if you're going to ask somebody's home address and contact information and they don't even know who you are, it's probably good that you try to establish some trust by putting a picture of something that they might recognize. If you live in Pleasant Hill, you would definitely recognize this, right? So you want to take a moment to click upload image over here on the left and upload the image. And once that's done, go to advanced options and go to print marketing, because remember, we're trying to get more listings. So I can now download this letter, and it's very similar to the nearby homeowner letter, but you can do this if you don't have any listings at all. You can't borrow any listings, you don't have any listings, but you want listings in Pleasant Hill, so you go get this. And you should edit these lines where I downloaded it. You can edit it, right? January home sales are in. You could say, 20 homes sold in Pleasant Hill last month. The high was here, couple data points, and that's it. You want this all to be on one page, because what it says is that affected your home value. Go here to get your free home value. And that's the key of what we're trying to do, right? We want people to see, hey, this is what's going on in our market, and this is, you can get your home value because that affected your home value. Now that's like town specific, right? That's like a city. Sorry guys, I can hear a landscaper here. Let me close the window. So that's like, a town. You might have a handful of towns where you want to build your business, but you can also do this for neighborhoods, right? And so I'm going to click on edit on this one. So this is Release Valley. I live in Lafayette, and Release Valley is this little neighborhood where everything's over 2 million bucks. So I would definitely want to have listings in that neighborhood. And if you've got a development or a neighborhood where you want to focus, you just go create a property valuation plus and you name it that neighborhood. Now you can see here, I've got this weird picture of a swimming pool. And why would I do that? Well, Release Valley, actually, it's on Release Valley Road, okay? And right at the entrance of that road is this swim club. So if you know Release Valley, you know this swim club. And so again, you're trying to sort of establish a trust that you know the area that you're talking about, that you're going to give, a value for. When we go over, when you create an instant home page, when you create a home valuation landing page, it kind of looks like this, right? And that's fairly generic, right? So am I going to feel comfortable giving you, my contact information and address when this just looks like, random anywhere in the US, right? So you want to take a couple minutes and make that picture look like you know that area. That's it, right? So that's kind of the story, guys. It's not that complicated. Market your listings, market it when they're just listed, open house and sold. Use the top tools that I mentioned, which are like the nearby homeowner letter, the social media tool, and the e-flyer for your database, right? That's all right here at the top half of this list. Definitely market, go to the ad section, run PDF report ads for sellers, run ads for sold properties. If you want, throw out a home value ad every once in a while. I recommend putting the QR code on the letter? Yeah, sure. If it's not too difficult, Marie. I mean, QR codes were big, have become big since COVID. I don't know about you guys, but now if I go to a restaurant, there's no menu and you scan it on your phone and there you go. We've had QR codes for long before COVID. And frankly, they don't get used a lot. So it might be good. It might not really do much, but it's not too difficult to find the QR code, I think, and put it together. So I frankly wouldn't worry about it, because all the tools that I've shown you, if you did those functions, which we just talked about here today, you would get results. If you go try to figure out how do I get that QR code in here, I don't even know if you would notice that the needle moved. Right. Now, if it did, you should actually try it, Marie, and see, because if you just start getting a bunch of leads, because everybody's so comfortable with QR codes, please let me know. Please put it in the mastermind group and let us know, like, hey, I've been using QR codes and it's doing great. We do have, I haven't mentioned it, but we do have text IVR. The thing about QR codes is, where are you putting it? You're putting it on a piece of paper, that can work. But text IVR is, I've got landing page extensions. So I actually have, let me do this here. I am going to do my Pleasant Hill. See if this works for me. You can associate a text code to a landing page. Now I'm wondering if this thing is so old, it's just giving me grief. Yes, you see how it doesn't want to go there? I'm thinking that this page, sometimes our old legacy stuff, it kind of does this. But I should essentially, oh, you know what? It's already there. It's already there. So let's go back to the landing page. Let's go back to this Pleasant Hill landing page we're looking at. And it says text this number to this number. This is good to do too. I actually think that text works better than QR codes. But if you're using this page, you're getting people anywhere and they go, oh, I can get it instant right now, 24/7, bang, I'm going to just text that number. We all know how to text, right? Not everybody gets QR codes. And, I mentioned QR codes in restaurants. I don't know, 30% of the time doesn't even work. I still have to ask them for a print menu. So anyway, but that's kind of it. Yeah, you can certainly use that, Marie. I don't know if that's going to change everything. What I have talked about here are the tools on your listings. Frankly, I got to really stress it. Those tools, especially in Nearby Homeowner Letter and that seller's social media post when it's sold, those get really high quality listing leads. Okay. The PDF report guides, they get a lot of leads, and our clients really like that. Running sold ads, doing that, right? Not everybody goes out and goes through the effort of downloading the home values, the home sold report on the back of landing pages. But I can tell you one thing, I don't know about your exact particular neighborhoods, but I talk to realtors every day, and getting listings is not easy. Inventory is tight. So you need more tools to do that. And that tool can sort of work for you, right? If you're mixing in that nearby, the Nearby Homeowner Letter on listings, and then you're mailing it with the landing page, value report, which is talking about the areas, which it's in the back of these advanced options. I think that's a really smart thing to do. As a reminder, in the mastermind group, when I showed you the Chris Winstead, he's sending a version of that tool every 2 weeks to a dedicated list of high value targets, right? And that is the #1 way. Okay, that is the #1 way to get listing leads that turn into listing contracts. So that's kind of the point of this call, is how do we get listings? And so mixing it up, with the email, the Nearby Homeowner Letter, and also the letter in the advanced options of our landing pages. That's really the way to go, is just keep that out there. Do run ads. I mean, when you think about it, when you think about what I just described to you, I've described that you're running ads on a weekly basis. You're getting seen by thousands of people by doing that. Your PDF reports, you're capturing leads, your home sold, you're building your brand, you're capturing leads. And then you're mailing letters out. So they're recognizing you from social media, they're recognizing you in print. If you capture them in a lead and you start using our tools in email, remember I said that there's an e-flyer for your database. Well, that's a really strong branding strategy, right? I mean, just from like marketing 101. If you go at people from one platform, cool. If you go at them from multiple platforms, that's really cool. And you're more likely to convert, you're more likely to capture leads and convert them. And that's why you got an e-flyer for your database right here, right? If you're into postcards, we got postcards as well that do the same thing. On the front, it says I got an open house, and on the back, it says that's going to affect your home value. But I will say this about postcards. You can download them here. But when you get a letter, you might open a letter. If you, like I get a lot, when I go get my mail out front, I separate my mail before I get it in the house. If it's a postcard and I'm not interested, poof, it's gone. Doesn't even matter, right? Ben's asking again, where will this recording of this be? It will be in the mastermind group. All of my recordings of all of our calls are in the mastermind group, okay? And actually, on that note, let me say something about that, right? Which is, sorry, things are clicking around here, I don't know why. Today's call is about the tools to get more listings. And I'm kind of, I'm happy to answer more questions, but that's kind of my message, right? What I just told you is really it. Use social media, market your listings, use all the tools I've shown you, and you're going to get more listings. But there's a lot to our system, not just getting more listings. There's a lot of powerful things that we've added in the past 2 months. And a really great way to learn that is to scroll down and look at the calls that say recorded webinar, right? And I'll give you a hint. I'm going to give you kind of a quick tip. And what I'm trying to let you know is, hey, if you got questions, let me know. Here's our get started call. So there's really 3 calls that I do throughout the month. Get started is for our new clients, and it tells you what you need to do to get started. How do you set up my account? What are the top tools to use? There's also this call, which is what do I use if I want more listings? And the other call is what are the top kinds of Facebook ads to run? I really recommend that you go check out these ones from the past couple months, because we've added a lot of tools, we're talking about a lot of things, and you will get familiar with this. Yeah, you'll get familiar with this. But also, this is where Scott and I are talking about what new technology we're adding. And I'm just going to give you a little tidbit right here. You see this cool video here? Now, I don't know how we did it, but we made it here at Listings to Leads. Sorry, I'm trying to get on it here. And it's an ad, almost like it's a video that you would almost think that you had a professional videographer create. I would keep an eye on this. And if you are interested in this kind of video, you should probably put a note here and just say, hey, I'd love to get one of these, because we created this in-house with Listings to Leads. Like this is not 2 weeks old. We're going to create it right as you see all this text and everything going. I don't know how we did it, guys. I don't have the details, but the way that we're creating it, we're going to make it available for you to run ads on. And also we're going to make it available for you to run ads on YouTube on it, right? So we all know, I'm sure you've heard, that video is really powerful on social media for lead capture. But video can be really expensive, right? And it's just more difficult. But we are somehow automating this. I'll learn more about it and I'll talk about it in the future. But that's really cool. And I definitely recommend that, you know, if you're getting into a real serious marketing game and you want to be a strong advertiser in 2022, the tools I've talked about today are going to help you out. They're going to help you get more listings, but this is going to come out. And just as an aside, if you're in the mastermind group, in this quarter, Q1 2020, you're going to see us launch Google Ads, okay? And I think that's actually going to be pretty awesome. That's going to be pretty helpful. Just a side note, I'm sure you might be aware, Google Ads tend to cost more, right? But there is something, you know, you can say that they're a higher intent because they actually did a certain search and we're responding to those searches. So are there any other questions, everybody? This call, we're meant to focus on how to get more listing leads. I showed you the tools that are there. Really the key is using them and using them consistently. So I don't see any questions. So I appreciate you joining me today. This call is being recorded. It's going to be in the mastermind group in just a couple of hours. So get in the mastermind group. If you're not in it, go to your support page down at the bottom left and just say, hey, please add me to the mastermind group. And then check out the other calls that I mentioned, the 3 that you want to sort of be on top of, because that's going to just help you out to understand everything. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Have a great week. Keep safe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.